Hello there, my name is Cynthia Wakio, and today, as usual, I am joined by Paminas, and he's going to be giving us tips on what it means to treat your employees like customers. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Cynthia.
What does it mean to say treat your employees like customers?
So that's an interesting question. And for me to answer it first, I would want to, go back to this famous saying that the customer is always right. So many business owners and many employees, they are familiar with that statement. And what does it mean? It basically means, regardless of the circumstances, we go out of our way to make sure the customer is satisfied. Now, how does then this apply in a professional work environment? Unfortunately, sometimes we find us as business leaders or managers, we don't treat employees right. And it's the same employees who we need or we require them to go that extra mile for the customer. And there's always this debate of who should you treat well? Is it the employee or the customer? And for me, it's a no-brainer. You shouldn't discriminate of the two. But more often than not, you find many of us as employers, the focus is only on the customers. The way we treat, in fact, many minutes at times, many of the times, the way we treat our employees, it leaves a lot of question marks. So for me, it just the same approach we use in terms of engaging with the customers is the same approach we should have when it comes to the day-to-day interaction with our employees. So top of mind, what does it mean then to treat employees as customers? Number one is listen to them. So improve the communication channels. Number two is get to know them at an individual level.
Yeah.
Why? For us to make customers happy, how do we go about it? We make sure that the interaction is personalized. You make sure that the customer feels understood. You make sure that the customer feels you're dealing with them at an individual level. I'm sure that can be replicated also when it comes to employees. The other thing is think about their goals. Think about the employee needs. Again, we make customers happy by offering them what they want. So if you're a five-star hotel, it's to make sure that whatever you're offering has that luxury element. If you're a kibanda and you're looking to satisfy your customer, you want to make sure that whatever product or service you're offering, it's priced according to what the customer can afford. So for me, it's to think about employees the same way. What opportunities can you have for them in terms of growth, in terms of running opportunity? Yeah. And lastly, be open and accept feedback. Why? Because as employers, as managers, as leaders, we drop the ball now and then. But then again, I don't believe that's the big issue. The big issue is what do you do when you drop the ball? Yeah.
So that's a good breakdown. So why should leaders adopt this kind of approach?
I think for me, there are two main reasons why we should treat, employees as customers. And number one is by treating them as customers, as an integral part of the business, you'll have employees who are engaged. So not just people who are clocking in for a salary. Remember, at the end of the day, so long as an employee has the skills and they do have the experience, they can work anywhere. But the question is, do you want to get the best out of them? So I believe where you have mutual respect, then the employees will be more engaged. They'll be looking forward to reporting to work. They'll be looking forward to giving their best. And even now, when they interact with the stakeholders and customers being one of the stakeholders, why won't they be able to give their best? They'll be able to do that. Yeah. So that's number one. You'll have employees who are engaged, and not just people who are desperate, for a salary. Yeah. And with that, then you'll have employees who take ownership of what they do on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. Why? Because they'll be able to buy into what you're doing. It's more of an adult, mature conversation, not where someone feels, oh, I must do this because Paminas is watching. Someone who takes ownership is someone who says, okay, this is my docket. I need to give my best. This is what I can do. If there's an issue, this is how I can go about it, try to find a solution. And if I don't find, I can be able to ask for help. Yeah. But an employee who doesn't take ownership is, if things work, well and good. If they don't work, you company see young. Other people can. It's a problem of other people. Yeah. So I think what we need to realize is, and I think this is a very bad practice that we have, where we are more mindful to the person who gives us something. So many of the managers and the business owners, they will say, okay, you as an employee, you are relying on me to give you money. Whereas I'm relying on this customer to give me money. So as the equation, I look at it and say, oh, so the customer is more important than the employee. However, you forget you might have all these many customers. If you don't have the employees to serve them, or if you don't have the employees to serve them well, you lose the customers. Yeah. So for me, it's a call to employers to really have their employee welfare at heart.
So for leaders listening to this video and they are considering to take this approach, what is the starting point?
I would advise them to approach it this way. Number one, you can start with an employee satisfaction survey. So if you engage corporate staffing, as we can come on board and conduct an employee satisfaction survey. So as being outsiders, we are objective, and also the staff will be able to appreciate that, well, this is someone who's not from the company, so they'll be more forthcoming in terms of their responses. So the reason why I'm suggesting an employee satisfaction survey, especially if it's a large organization, is to help you understand the dynamics, the current dynamics. We've done this for many organizations, and from there you're able to see what areas are you doing well and what areas do you need to improve on. Yeah. So number one, if you have the budget, the resources, I would highly recommend an employee satisfaction survey. Number two, and this is whether you have a budget or not, this is something you can start working on from today, from the day you watch this video. And this essentially, it's about improving the work environment. So make the work environment better for the employees. And here there's no, we all know how a good work environment looks like. Are people communicating? Have you availed the right resources for the staff to do their job? Is there feedback? Is there open communication? So just think about it. You as a manager or a leader, how would you want to be treated? So for me, that's what work environment is. If there are things which you wouldn't want to be done to you, then it goes without saying that if you shouldn't even do it to the employee. Yeah. And another suggestion is if you can start engaging with the staff one-on-one, that can also help you understand where they are. And here, don't just talk to the most talkative, don't just talk to the ones who you report to, who you work with on a day-to-day basis. Once in a while, once in a month, talk to people who are not from your department, talk to other staff, and just get to understand how they are doing, away from the day-to-day work. What issues are they facing? Are there any challenges? Is there a way that the company can come through for them? Yeah, so I believe communication, opening and ensuring that the communication channels are there, that can go a long way in terms of making the employees feel valued. Because that's, at the end of the day, they want to feel that their voice is heard, whatever their work is important, and that's the way they will feel that you're indeed treating them as the way you treat your customers.
Thank you, Paminas, for that. I'm sure a leader or a manager watching this video has picked a thing or two. And I also have, which I'll be implementing with my team and where I work.
Thank you, Cindy.
All right. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave us a comment if you'd like us to tackle a topic. Subscribe, like, and share. We'll see you next time.